Hi, and welcome back to part 2 for basic library research for science psychology students. So I want to point your attention now to a library guide that is created just for psychology students. So from the library homepage, I'm going to click on library guides. And there is a guide for every major program that's offered at Harcum and some of the courses. So if you look under Center for Social Sciences, you'll find a guide just for psychology. So we're going to go there now. So this is a guide that I've created for psychology students, and I want to point out first that my contact information is on this guide. So if you ever have any questions, you want to email me or contact me, my information is there. And I've broken down the tabs to indicate what kind of information you might be looking for. So for background information, books and ebooks, and articles. So we're going to go through each one of these in this video, and then in the next video we'll look at APA citation style. So first of all, if you're looking for background information, a lot of times students will go to Wikipedia or they'll just do a Google search. And what I want to show you today is how the library resources are actually superior to just doing a Google search or using Wikipedia. And the reason is because these are considered scholarly resources. You can actually cite them in your paper. Whereas with Wikipedia, you're not usually encouraged to cite Wikipedia, and we don't 100% know if Wikipedia is accurate. But if you use this database called Credo, we know that it's accurate. This stuff is written by experts, and this has encyclopedia, articles, dictionaries, and lots of great background information. So let's search for our topic today, which is emotional intelligence in Credo. Now, I'm working off campus, so I'll be, like you, prompted for a password. So when we hit go, okay, so I was logged in, but if I wasn't, you would need passwords. So let's just pause for a second and look at how to find those passwords. So to find passwords, you need to go to your Harcum Hatch. So open Harcum Hatch however you normally do. And you want to find the Quick Links tab. So either it's a tab here on the right-hand side if you're on a computer. Sometimes it's under your name. If you're on a mobile device or like a tablet or a phone, you would just tap on your name and you'll see Quick Links. So open the Quick Links tab and scroll down until you find Library Database Password List. And in there, you're going to find all of the passwords that you need for any Harcum database. So we're using Credo right now, so there's the password, and later on we're going to look at EBSCO, so there's the password, and at the end we'll look at Service Issues Researcher, so we need that password. Anyway, getting back to Credo, you'll see we have entries here for something like Encyclopedia of Applied Psychology or Elsevier's Dictionary of Psychological Theories. So these would be considered academic, scholarly sources that you could potentially use in your research. So let's click on one just to see an example. So this is an article from the Encyclopedia of Applied Psychology. You can read the full text of the article here. You can print it, you can email it to yourself or to someone else. And you can also get a citation. So clicking on citation, you just simply change the citation to the style that you're using. And we're using APA today. So you would copy this. And you would simply open up a document. And I've got a document here ready to go called References. And you can paste your citation in there. So there's my citation. Now you might have to do a little bit of formatting, and you might want to check it, but it's ready to go. Okay, so that's background information in Credo. Now, what about books and articles? So books and articles you can find them by a great place to start rather is this EBSCO Discovery Service. And so EBSCO Discovery Service is what's called a federated search. It searches all of Harcum Library's electronic and print resources all in one search. So we'll type in our emotional intelligence topic in there, and we're going to hit search. Now again, I'm off campus, so it's asking me for a username and password. So I would go to the password page, find the password for EBSCO, and type it in there. If I was on campus, it would log me in automatically. And so here are my results for my topic on emotional intelligence. At the top of each entry, it tells you what kind of a resource it is. So this one is an ebook. This is also a book, but you'll see that it has a status on the shelf, which means it's a print book. It's physically in the library. So you'd want to jot this call number down to find it on the shelf. Here's an article. And you'll also see these Access Now buttons. Clicking them will open up the full text of that resource in your browser. So let's look at this article. So a great feature of these databases are these, I'm trying to move my face out of the way. A great feature of these databases are the options to share. So you can email them to yourself. You just put your email address in there. You can also save them to Google Drive. You can download them or hit the download button here, or the Access Now button will give you the option to open a PDF or the full text in just HTML. But there's also a cite button in here too, so click on cite, and then you have to change the style to APA. And then here we go, we have a citation we can copy, and then again paste it into our references page, just like that. Okay. So this is an article, and let's say we want to make sure that we're just using, okay, so sorry, let me go back. So the benefit of using a database like this over Google is that with a database like this, we can sort our results to show us just sources that are considered scholarly or academic. Whereas with Google, we have to go through each source and try to decide whether that source is an academic source. And so a nice feature of this database is that you can filter out the results that are not considered scholarly. So when we talk about scholarly resources, we're talking about publications, articles that are published in academic journals. We don't want to see newspaper articles or magazine articles that are that are written for the public but not considered scholarly. So let's hit this academic journals and apply that filter. And now all I'm going to see are materials that are considered scholarly. I don't have to worry about evaluating a source to determine whether or not it's appropriate for my research. It's at an appropriate level. Okay, so I'm only seeing journal articles. Now you'll also see something called peer-reviewed. So peer review is a type of scholarly journal where when someone submits an article for publication, it is given to other scholars in that field, and they determine whether or not it is an appropriate level of research for publication. It is the highest level of scholarly article. When you hit scholarly journals in this database, the filter, when you hit that, they're all considered scholarly, but peer-reviewed is just one step above that. So that's how to find academic journals. Now you can also filter by a lot of other options like date and language if you wanted to. And if you only wanted to see peer review, that is also an option. Okay, so that's how to find articles and books in EBSCO Discovery Service. I want to show you one more database that I think will be useful to you in psychology. So that, in order to see the other databases that we have beyond EBSCO Discovery Service, look for the Articles and Databases tab. And so these are all the databases that I think would be helpful to students studying psychology. And in particular, this one, SIRS Issues Researcher, I think would be very useful to students because it looks at social issues. So it's great for sociology and psychology. So again, it's asking me for a username and password. So I need to get that password. and plug it in. Let's see. Oh, just took a second. Okay, so you can look at these trending topics where they've isolated articles on those topics, but you can also just run a search. And then what I do like about this database is it allows you to see your filters here on the side. So we're going to go ahead and click scholarly journals. And then we see articles that are from scholarly journals on our topic. So you can scroll through this list to find articles that are relevant to your search. And let's click on one just to see what is offered. So you have a summary here. It tells you it's a scholarly journal. It tells you who wrote it and where it was published. And then you can read the full text. You can email this to yourself or someone else. You can print it and you can also cite it. So let's grab the citation just to see what that looks like. So we changed the citation style to APA, and then we can copy, use the copy button, and then paste it into our document. Okay, so that's 3 different databases. So you've got your background information in Credo. You can find books, ebooks, and articles, scholarly articles in EBSCO Discovery Service, and you can use SIRS Issues Researcher. So that's 3 places that you can search. Now let's look at, in the next video, we'll look at APA citation style.